In Austin, I'm Mark Mullins. Austin police are showing and telling us more about an in-custody death from last weekend. Officers tased a man in North Austin, and that man later died. We do want to warn you here, some of the video APD released may be hard to watch. Police say this doorbell footage shows Josh Trumbull breaking into a house on Grover Avenue last Saturday while the homeowners were not there. Police say they also got other 911 calls about him trying to break into cars and other homes nearby. So when officers responded, they found Trumbull outside a home and say he initially complied with their commands, but then he stopped listening as they detained him and they tased him.
Let go of your hands. Let go of your hands. Let go of your hands.
Relax or you're going to get tased.
Try a different set. Try a different set.
Stop. Stop. Do not.
Shortly after that, Trumbull was unresponsive and medics tried to revive him for 38 minutes, but he died on scene. 7 Austin police officers who were involved in this are on leave, which is standard protocol. We've obtained dashcam video from Manor police from when officers chased and arrested 3 teenagers accused in a shooting spree last month. Investigators say those teens were in that small white sedan and they had been involved in at least 13 shootings and 5 car thefts across Austin and Buda on May 16th and 17th. Manor police say a license plate camera reader helped them find that stolen white car, and an officer tried to pull it over, but the driver then took off and then crashed in a field off of FM 973 and Highway 290. One of the suspects, Christian Mondragon, is 17 years old and faces 19 charges. The other suspects are 15 and 16 years old, so their names have not been released. Austin ISD is restarting a process that could affect thousands of students and families across the district. District administrators held an open house in East Austin Tuesday night to explain how the boundary lines could be redrawn. Reporter Brianna Perez shows us what's driving the changes and how families could be affected.
A full house at Go Valley Elementary School tonight as parents and community members gathered for the next steps in Austin ISD's school boundary process. One that got underway last fall but was put on hold.
We know it's really important to get these aligned feeder patterns and boundaries so we can have our healthy schools and have these really strong communities throughout Austin ISD.
This week, the district kicked off round 1 of open houses by presenting 2 draft scenarios, known as Oak and Elm, which outline different ways students could be assigned to schools. District leaders say the proposals aim to limit feeder pattern splits, balance enrollment with each school's size and capacity, and provide long-term stability. For some parents in East Austin, much of the discussion centered on closing Blackshear Elementary and reassigning students to Oak Springs.
Our concern is that the new campus won't have enough capacity for the current population, much less the transfer capacity. So that's what you want in a special programs campus. The district tells us we want to put those programs in spaces where they have room to grow. And so now this change doesn't make sense.
Parents used sticky notes to list their own pros and cons for each scenario. For many, the message remains clear. There is still work to do.
When you look at the maps showing the east side boundaries, they're all too small. There aren't enough kids. You need to either close more campuses or really do creative solutions.
District leaders stress neither map is final.
What we're really going to do is take back all that feedback, aggregate it, and see what we can work with to refine our plan and bring it back to our community.
Draft boundary maps are expected to go before the board in August, followed by a second round of community open houses. The school board is expected to take a final vote on the proposed changes in September. In East Austin, Brianna Perez, KVUE News.
Well, now that school is out, some families have to figure out how to make up for the meals their kids usually get at school. Reporter Daniel Gomez shows us how a food bank is helping.
My goodness.
Diana Haggerty is a mom of 4 and all too familiar with the challenges summer brings.
The summer camp struggle is real.
Her youngest keeps busy with arts and crafts at this summer camp event at Garrison Park in South Austin, while getting a meal out of it too.
The receipts are getting higher and higher. In the summertime, because several of my kiddos do eat lunch at school.
Costs are a struggle the Central Texas Food Bank continues to help families with through its summer meals program.
We are now the 4th largest state for food insecurity in the country.
According to President and CEO Sarah Vatsky, 1 in 4 kids face food insecurity in Central Texas, slightly higher compared to the national average of 1 in 5 kids.
It's not just necessarily food deserts that we're looking at, we're also looking at food swamps, which is an area that has access to processed food, fast food, but not grocery stores, fresh food and vegetables.
All these factors help the food bank decide the 70-plus locations to hold these weekly events around Central Texas.
And while our family is not in a food desert, it is not far from here that is the experience. We just have to travel a few miles, and you do see that throughout Austin.
Haggerty is grateful and hopes more families also take advantage. Daniel Gomez, KVUE News.
More Texas high schoolers are passing the STAR test. The Texas Education Agency just released the results from this year's exams. From 2025 to 2026, 7% more students met expectations on the Algebra 1 test. There was a 9% increase in students that met standards on the biology test. That figure went up 4% for both the English 1 and English 2 tests, and 2% for the U.S. history test. State officials say they're seeing improvements among bilingual students, students who receive special education services, and economically disadvantaged students. TEA Commissioner Mike Morath credited the hard work of Texas students, educators, and families. He also said these results may reflect the ban on cell phones in Texas classrooms that took effect at the beginning of the last school year. The state plans to publish STAR test results for children in grades 3 through 8 next week. That'll do it for us here in Austin. Wishing you a great day.